Hey, Lakeside D Group folks, just wanted to take a quick minute to share a video. Just some thoughts from what I've been reading through in Deuteronomy with you. I think the thing that's specifically striking me is just the idea of the fear of the Lord and the importance of the fear of the Lord. I think I see through the first few chapters of Deuteronomy just how important it is that the people of God fear the Lord. You see it connected so closely with obedience, and it's almost this relationship that obedience is built upon a right fear of the Lord. And fear of the Lord not being, again, just to clarify, not simply right theology or right description of God, but a genuine heart level grasp, a right view of God. I think most of the Israelites could articulate a right doctrine of God, but they had to see the glory of God on the mountain to fear the Lord, and then that was the thing that was going to hold them in place with obedience. Not even just like just a fear of punishment, but a right view of God. And the more I've been thinking about this, the more I've this is something that we all need. The Old Testament saints, the New Testament saints, we don't understand Jesus in his humanity until we understand who Jesus was, who God is, and rightly portrayed in the Old Testament. The fear of the Lord is the foundation for our knowledge of God. And if we're going to obey him rightly, if we're going to walk with him rightly, if we're going to enjoy his presence and really even understand what it means to be loved by him, all of that is built on the right fear of the Lord. And just something that as we are walking through Deuteronomy, you'll just notice again and again this idea of the fear of the Lord. And made me ask the question, how do I grow in the fear of the Lord? And I think the clear, at least, emphasis in the first few chapters is that the people of God need to see the glory of God in order to walk in the fear of the Lord. So what does that mean for us? Because we're not seeing God on the mountaintop. I think we have to look with eyes of faith to the invisible God and ask through the power of the Holy Spirit that we would behold his glory, see him for who he is. I think the idea that we're going to live upright moral lives apart from a right fear of the Lord is impossible. I think that's what the first few chapters of Deuteronomy are helping us see. We need to fear the Lord. And as we fear the Lord rightly, we begin to understand the incredible promises that he has given us. We begin to understand what it means and just the incredible condescension that God would love us. I think the idea throughout the first few chapters of Deuteronomy make clear that because he loves us, he gives us his commands. And when we rightly fear and respect him in the way that moves us towards him and not away from him, it even helps us rightly not fear everything else. As we grow in our fear of the Lord, our fear of everything else fades away. So just let this be an encouragement to you, brothers and sisters. Let us press into the fear of the Lord, that the Lord would use his word to grow us in our trust in him and our righteous fear of him as we look to him in faith, and pray that the Holy Spirit would enable us to see him for who he is, that our lives may be conformed more and more to his will.